Hello, everyone. So, tonight I'm coming to you with a dialogue about creative thinking. Many of our little ones are very creative, whether it be through the art that they design or um, music that they create or just so many different things they can do, right? It's not just one thing or the other. Sometimes they're multifaceted creators. The reason why I wanted to do this discussion is because so much of the future is dependent upon machine learning and artificial intelligence. And with that, a lot of the automation comes into play. And then if you add in robotics, then you have a workforce or a working system that is heavily dependent upon computers and technologies and not as much on people. And as a result, if we're not adapting to the fact that resources will be heavily dependent upon technology, then we're opening ourselves up for not being um, equipped for 21st century careers in the 21st century workforce. And so the reason why we practice STEAM and not STEM is because it's extremely important to develop the creative aspects and the critical thinking within our young people. So arts plays a big role in that. Uh, the one thing that the AI hasn't mastered is consciousness. And it really hasn't mastered human interactivity, even though you will see the robot Sophia, the machines don't have emotion just yet, right? And if you haven't heard it, there's a goal for singularity. And this is not conspiracy. Ray Kurzweil of Google believes in the singularity, which is transhumanism. And if you've ever heard of Neuralink by Elon Musk, that is where the AI gets to connect with your brain activity and create some meshing of the two worlds, of the human world and technology world. But regardless of either of those situations, in order for our young people to be able to thrive, they have to be able to understand technology and also understand how to be creators. Because again, the one thing that we as humans have is our creative ability. And machines aren't necessarily creative. What they do, they're great at is programming. So collectively, it has all of this information, which is the machine learning, and it uses that to iterate things, to replace some of the mundane tasks that we go through. So it's extremely imperative that we prepare our young people to have higher level thinking. And to get there, it's encouraging to have our young people express their creativity in everyday activities. So if you're over the summer, if regardless of whether or not your children go to camp or if you're still homeschooling as a year-round homeschooler or whatever it is that you're doing, try to incorporate creative activities into multiple parts of the day, not just, okay, we're going to work on a painting today, or try to create or evoke opportunities for creative expression, and allow your kids to lead. Because sometimes when we're directed in a way, we're so busy trying to please and so focused on what the outside world wants that we're not actually being creative. We're just being a version of what the outside world wants. And so we modify ourselves and adapt because we're looking to please others. So one of the things that I ask of you, and I hope you can raise your hand to that, right? Raise your hand to that you're going to allow your kiddos to lead. You're going to allow them, because when they do, this is where the opportunity comes in for them to see the world in a different way and then express it from how they perceive the world, right? Um, Many of us, we grew up, we weren't digital natives, right? That we didn't even, most of my life, well, I shouldn't say most of my life, but for a couple of decades or so, we didn't even have the internet. And now our children are born into a digital age. And everything about what they do requires a technological interaction to take place. And so they're coming in digital natives, but they still have that creativity and that creative element about themselves. And it's important that we nurture it because it is what is going to be the differentiating factor in their capacity to lead and to create in this new digital decade. And it's a fundamental skill of 21st century workforce, of a 21st century workforce. And so for our summit, one of our surprise bonuses has to do with this creativity and expressing it and encouraging it and supporting our young people through it. Just because it's if you can tell, I get excited about it. I get excited about the opportunities that are afforded to our young people when we allow them to just be and to just support them in whatever it is that they're trying to express and to do. And so I just wanted to share that with you today. And I look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow. And for those of you who are already signed up for the Boundless Kiddo Summit, you'll be getting one of our special bonuses in the next few days or so. And so if you haven't already done so, please go to boundlesskiddosummit.com, sign your young people up. It is going to be an amazing experience and one that you don't want to miss. So go ahead and go to the boundlesskiddosummit.com. And I look forward to connecting with you all again tomorrow, mañana. Bye-bye now. Take care.